What's up, guys? Welcome back to the ManLab, and I am your host, Blake. We were recently just at the A4M conference in West Palm Beach. Alex from T Clinics actually sat down, well, he was actually standing, and was speaking to one of the owners of a compound pharmacy called Cre8, and his name is David Bonfa. Now, David Bonfa has been on one of our podcasts before when we were in Vegas for the last A4M conference, and he covered the current state of the peptide industry and the problem with it being locked down by the FDA by putting them as category 2.
The difference between the quality that's out there versus what you guys were making and are able to make, it's a night and day difference in result.
One thing that's really exciting, RFK, as we know, has come out saying that he is going to be taking
about 14 of them back to making them more accessible. And within a couple of weeks, we will have announced some kind of new action.
Might be already have happened by the time this podcast has come out. David Bonfa from Cre8 Pharmacy has covered a lot of very interesting information because he, along with a lot of other peptide compound pharmacies, are very cued in on this and very informed because they are trying, and they have been trying vigorously to get peptides back into at least a category 1, which is what we're seeing with the RFK movement.
It'd be nice to have the ability for these things that we know work to be able to be access to them in a very clear way from a trusted source.
Exactly.
Enjoy the listen. The audio is in the actual event, so it can be a little bit distracting sometimes. We've done our best with the audio, but please enjoy it. He is a very charismatic gentleman, and he covers some great information. So enjoy the show.
The latest and greatest information, I go to David. He's probably the most trusted source that I know of that basically cuts through the bullshit. Like, will not tell me what I want to hear, but unfortunately tells me like it is. And here's the deal, guys. Peptides, like we've talked about this. We've examined options. We've been waiting for this information. We're getting closer.
Very close, yeah.
Where are we at? Where are we at with the peptide as of where it was April 11th or 10th of 2026? Where are we at right now?
Yeah, I think the famous tweet that went out a year and a half ago, where we're coming for our peptides. You know, like pack your bags. In RFK's tweet was a very strong tweet, but this was a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And so we've been chomping at the bit and we've been waiting. And now in the last, 3-4 weeks, he's been on about 4 or 5 different podcasts, giving out like ETAs.
Yeah, it's everywhere now.
He's talking about a specific number of peptides. So it is happening. It is there's a lot of movement there. We're fortunate to be a part of 4 other pharmacies that have been in Washington fighting, lobbying with some great people and great industry leaders. And so it's there, and we're seeing it, we're tasting it, and it just hasn't been made official yet. But I'm staying as optimistic as I possibly can. I do think we're at the closest.
We're waiting
that we
like
are.
every day, right? It's like
every day.
It's
every day we're all like, let's look, refresh,
Yeah.
And I've never been on cspan.com. Plug for C-SPAN, but I've never been on that website so much because it actually gives you the daily kind of meetings that they have. I'm waiting to see RFK.
I do a morning Grok check. Is there any update on
Grok
that?
Yeah. Grok said something the other day, like they're approved, and the whole world went nuts. So yeah, there's movements, and I do see this happening, definitely in April.
Okay.
Let's leave it at that.
So just be clear, there was 19 that were taken off the market, and there's a supposed 14 being brought back.
Yeah.
Do you
so the category 2 list is, well, yeah, I would, if I had to bet, what's going to happen is they're going to look at the category 2 list that was originally made.
Okay.
That had 19 peptides on that list. Are all 19 going to be approved? I don't think so. But he did mention 14 or 15. He started kicking around some numbers. But keep something in mind, guys. The last 2.5 years, we've had other peptides kind of come to the table that were not on that list.
Right.
And some pharmacies chose to do those. Are those going to be removed? I'll tell you right now, what should happen, again, you know me, I give you the straight answer. What should happen is that if 12, 14, 16 are approved, we should do the approved ones. We've been waiting 15 years for some.
So what you're saying is 14 may come back, but there may be new ones on the list that we don't even weren't on the original list.
No.
So 14 total are coming back.
14 total come back from the original 19 that are on category 2 right now.
Are there any that were not on the original 19 removed?
Yeah, like you look at something like
SS31 or something
SS31, you look at hexarelin, pentosan polysulfate,
pentadecagon arginate, some of the
PDA, exactly. So there's a few that were made, they weren't on the list. Some farmers like, well, they're not on the list, so I can we played that game. But I think what we need to do is if the list is official, you follow the list.
Well, and that's the unfortunate reality of this industry is that because the high competitive nature of it, there's going to be some bad players that are going to potentially screw this up for everybody again.
Always. Well, look, a perfect example, you look at the research and development situation. One of the biggest R&D companies out there, I won't
Peptide
mention.
Sciences, yeah,
okay, good,
down.
mention their name.
I don't care.
So now, nothing happened to them yet, but they voluntarily shut down, and I think that was a massive message to everybody out there. So that is priority number one. I'll tell you, Alex, priority number one is going to be, once things get approved and it's clear and it's black and white, this is what you're able to do. Priority number one is that has to be gone.
Yeah.
And like you said, are there going to be some companies that are just going to tomorrow have a new website and market? Yes, they're still going to be there.
It's always going to be
but it won't be
market.
as easy as it is now.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? You've been in the industry how long? How many years?
21 years.
Same. Okay, so we're looking at 26 years now, right? So in the 20s here that we've seen this, can you imagine? Go back 10 years. In your home, open up your computer and get a bottle of somatropin. In your front step tomorrow morning. No doctor, no blood work. This is what's happening.
The thing that we always used to be able to, but it became it became okay recently.
But did you ever see marketing for it on Instagram TikTok and influencers? So this is what's happening, and it's everyone is saying it. This is crazy. This should not be the way you get active drug.
When your mom at the dinner
my mom can't get Lipitor.
You about this stuff,
That's true. That's number one topic. That's discussed.
Hey guys, we're going to take a quick break and talk about our head sponsor, T-Clinics USA. Now, if you haven't heard of T-Clinics USA, they are a hormone replacement therapy clinic and peptide clinic based out of Florida. They are honestly super different from anything you're going to be purchasing from online. Now, the issue with purchasing peptides and any sort of testosterone replacement therapy and stuff like that online is you usually will get it sent to you in the mail. It's in a weird package, no guidelines, no information on how you're meant to be taking it because they are research only, so they can't actually give you any advice. The difference is though, with T-Clinics USA, they are physician backed. Now, what that means is they have a medical doctor at the ready to give you advice on how to potentially take this and have it the right way. But more importantly, you get your lab work done with either T-Clinics or T-Clinics will send information to a local Quest or LabCorp. And from there, they will look at your blood work to see exactly what needs to be worked on. Because sometimes you might think, all right, I want to have this peptide. I want to have testosterone replacement therapy. And that's not the thing you should be taking. Instead, it should be something else based on what your lab work has come back with. And that is where T-Clinics USA is fantastic. They will look at it, look under the hood and have a detailed map of what you should be doing. This is great for females and males, not just the men, but the women as well, to help with hormone replacement, longevity, looking better, feeling better, muscle growth, whatever your goal potentially might be, they can help. If you're a ManLab listener, you get 10% off your first package with T-Clinics USA. Head to tclinicsusa.com. The link is in the description if you don't want to remember that at all. And they will be definitely looking after you just like they have with me and everyone else that I personally know. So that's tclinicsusa.com. Mention the ManLab for 10% off your first package. And let's get back to the show.
Well, it's exciting times, I think, for all of us, because if you're into the peptide thing, a lot of people are experimenting with RSO stuff, and it's probably underdosed or, God forbid, whatever else.
We don't know where it's coming from. Exactly.
The difference between the quality that's out there versus what you guys were making and are able to make, it's a night and day difference in result. You're like, oh my God, this BPC actually works.
And so now zoom in. Okay, this was the comments that we got from our last conversation. And I just kept saying the same thing over and over and over again. Comments are valid. I'm all about, it's free speech. You can say what you want.
Some of you guys are a little ruthless.
It's fine. This is the industry. One thing that I will say is, do you have a license on the wall, or do you have a business that you're running that could potentially in 2 seconds be taken away from you?
Well, it's not just about money, though. A lot of people are saying, yeah, these guys are about the money. And
no.
Listen, yes, our RSO peptide is very inexpensive relatively to what pharmaceutical quality will be.
Exactly.
But is the quality that much better? And it's kind of like
there's no way to prove it.
But the Grey Goose vodka compared to the bottom shelf vodka analogy, listen, you can drink them both. They both get you drunk, but at the same time, one's going to be a hangover, one's going to make you feel pretty terrible, and one tastes like shit.
Yeah. You can buy wine at Publix.
Yes.
Or you can go to Vineyard in Tuscany. It's one of those things. And I think, look, even with pricing, with the wars that we've seen with the R&D pricing and the demand,
things are going to be a little bit more reasonable.
I think things are going to settle down a little bit. But to think that you can buy a Ferrari for $10,000.
They're going to be more expensive than ours. So.
Exactly.
But they're going to come with a doctor's script. There's the
gonna come with-
liability on the pharmacy to
Exactly.
produce them with quality and results and purity.
And the testing that we do, we're doing
Right.
like a 6-point check. You could
make
say
sure.
98, 99% pure all you want.
If you
and
got
show
all the
me a
money in
piece
the
of
world
paper.
and you're saying,
Not
I want the
meaning.
best of the best. Well,
Exactly.
you're luckily now the best is able to be produced.
And look, at the end of the day, it's all about, guys, it's all about following the law.
Yeah.
You know, you have to follow the law in your clinic. Your doctor has to follow a law for
Yes.
his license. I have to follow the law. Like, this is just the law. Like, you can't get around that. So there's a lot of things you can do to circumvent the law that is cheaper and quicker. And yeah, sure.
Lots of things. Yeah.
Lots of things, you know what I'm saying? So we just need to, when we're having this type of conversation, and God bless your viewers, but we have to compare the apple to the apple.
So let me
can't have
ask
that
a
weird comparison.
question that has been a question posed to me many times.
Yeah.
Will these become FDA approved in the sense of like there's an FDA approval, or are you guys just allowed to make them? What's the differential that's about to happen?
If you want my belief is that in order to get an FDA approval, you go through trials, you go through studies like that. That's not happening with these because we're pulling studies from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. We're piggybacking on some literature studies. I think it's almost gonna be like a hybrid. It's gonna be an approval based on the safety and efficacy of a drug.
So will companies
And the FDA will approve it,
will
yes.
companies like Hims and Hers and Roman who have these legit skip certification requirements be allowed to sell them?
If it is on, I'll say this, if it's on the FDA's website as an approved medication, I think they will. I think they will have access to it.
Wow.
Because how do you approve it now? The communication you could have is more like 503A versus 503B, because 503B is office use, and are you using peptides for office use? Not really.
Right.
So there's been some talk about maybe only 503As are going to have access to it, you know, because it's a patient-specific thing, which I kind of agree with, not because I'm a 503A, but I understand why they would do that. But now there's like, we're just going to approve it and it's going to be approved. And then it's, and again, back to the like, once that door's open,
So then
and all 503As and telemedicine have access
to them.
Yeah.
Which means, in a way, you know, the availability will be broader.
Yeah.
Competition is going to be greater. The price margins will have to be more reasonable.
This is where the green list is going to come in.
Right.
So the FDA, for viewers who don't know, the FDA has what's called a green list. It's kind of a list of an approved source of where we buy our powders from.
The API list.
The API, the active ingredients, exactly. So that list gets smaller and smaller because they kind of shrink the approval process, and they want to make sure that where we are bringing in our active ingredients is from an approved vendor.
Right.
So what they might do, hopefully they don't, but they could just say, here, we're going to give you all the peptides to do.
But none of these are.
But we have no suppliers that can ship. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? I don't think they're going to do it. There'll be another whole war.
Or
but
unless
they
the
will.
government is in bed with one approved person on that green list, and
exactly.
there's a lot of push for that.
What will happen now, and what's happening now, is a lot of pharmacies, you see a fluctuate. We're talking pharmacies, not research and development. Okay, I'm just talking compounding pharmacies. There is quite of a fluctuation in pricing from one guy to the next.
Yeah.
And the only real reason, well, there's two real reasons. One, you're cutting corners on testing, or two, you're cutting corners on the active ingredient. Because I get phone calls every week from some rando who's like, oh, I heard you do this. I could sell you, I got all the paperwork, I can sell you this drug and that drug. I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like, you could be in your mom's basement right now for all I don't know. So we want to try and choose the right suppliers.
Hey guys, just quickly before we get back to the podcast, please, whatever you are watching or listening to this podcast on, hit that subscribe button, because that will help give the algorithm more information that, hey, people just like you want to listen to this podcast over and over and over again. So again, Spotify, or if it's YouTube, or if it's Apple Music, whatever it is, hit that subscribe button. Let's get back to the show.
And I think the green list is going to kind of put everybody a little bit more on an even
These are who you're allowed to buy
Exactly.
the original product from. You guys will
Exactly.
then be allowed to produce it,
100%.
and then licensed providing offices are allowed to sell it.
Exactly.
And that's the chain it's supposed to
That's
go.
what it's supposed to be.
That's the circle of life that we should be living.
Exactly. And it was what we were living in for many, many years.
Yeah.
But then once they blocked it, you know how it is. You take something away from a kid, he's going to lose his mind. And so we took away something that people wanted, and we said, don't use it, it's bad for you. And
Everybody said, give
screw
it to
you.
me.
Exactly.
Because everybody wanted to revolt against the government saying, this is
Bad
what
timing.
you're supposed to take, and I'm going to take this.
Exactly.
Is there any concern about this new BUD date issue becoming a problem for like, BUD is the best use date. Like, how long will you guys be allowed to? Is it 1 month product, 2 month product, 3 month? Like,
So,
what's the?
so this is a big topic right now in the industry that we're trying to push back as well, because something happened November 1st, where they maximized the dating for 503A pharmacies on even if I've tested something in the past for 15, 20 years. I'll give you an easy example. Okay, testosterone. I had dating on testosterone for 180 days.
Right.
For years. For years.
Same stuff.
No, same thing. The same formula, same ingredients, same way, method, everything. November 1st comes around.
30 days.
The most I can do is 60 days,
60 days,
non-refrigerated, 90 days refrigerated. But you can't refrigerate testosterone, so I got to mark it as 60. Overnight,
Some places refrigerate testosterone.
well, that's the thing. And then you deal with the headache where someone puts it in the fridge and then it separates and then they call you. So I don't know what the bigger headache is.
Right.
So we just say, look, testosterone is a non-refrigerated item. We got to take
the lyophilized exist in
90
that?
days max, where I had 180
So you'll be able to do 90 days on these.
I'll be able to do a 90 days.
So guys, in 90 days, that means
Exactly.
from the
Which
day
is
that
fine.
they release
Yeah.
it, which means 60 days we'll be allowed to, we'll be able to offer to
Yeah.
a client, because they'll say by the time your client receives it, we're already.
If it's in the week, because we're doing batches now with this whole new rule, we're making batches every week.
Or if you're right.
Yeah. Or if you've been on it for years,
you can
and
get
you know
free
you
if
can
you
trust it.
acknowledge that you're going to toss it halfway through that third. Yeah,
Exactly. So I think the norm for clinics and even patients, and even just on a side note, just to see how things are going. I think every 90 days or 3 months is a pretty good protocol plan.
People like to pivot.
Exactly.
Peptides are what's the next cool thing kind of in my rotation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Listen, man, like exciting times for you.
It is.
Exciting times for us. I mean, I think finally maybe this government will do what it says and get on
what
board.
they said. Yeah, what they said.
And we'll execute on it. And
it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's
It'd be
coming.
nice to have the ability for these things that we know work to be able to be access to them in a very clear way.
Yeah. From a trusted source. Exactly. That's
and
number
get the
one.
results that we've kind of preached about all these years. I have people come to me saying, this stuff doesn't work. And I'm like, where'd you buy it? Off the TikTok shop? Well, like, that's garbage. And you can't blame the stuff we have, which is good product, and saying what we offer is not good, because the shit you bought is not what we would sell.
Yeah.
So, man, I appreciate your time.
No problem.
And always
Anytime,
the
guys.
education.
Anytime.
We have a long time history. We'll be doing this for years to come, and hopefully selling more and more peptides. So,
all right,
thanks,
let's
buddy.
get the comments
Good show.
on. Let's go.
Yeah, let's hear what you have to say this time.
Have a good one.